DIT British English channel. For their very critical topic, that is a women empowerment. Why it is needed? Because we all know that for the development of any nation, for the development of any country, there should be a equal participation both the gender, that is the male and female. That is why the people, the society, our we can say that many philosophers think about that we should uplift the women. How can we uplift? This is the only process, that is the women empowerment. So today we will talk about that, the very beautiful topic, the very critical issue, that is the women empowerment. So before this, I would like to tell you that please subscribe this channel and press the bell icon, that will notify you for the upcoming videos.
A very pleasant good morning, those who are watching and those who will watch. My name is Bilal Ahmed, and I and Mr. Manohar have gathered here today for a very pivotal topic and on the burning issue, that is women empowerment. Friends, as we all very well know, and it is a saying in our society that a boy is boy until he gets himself a wife, but a daughter remains a daughter till her whole life. So, friends, we have here gathered to discuss on burning issue, that is women empowerment. To in our society, we basically see that our society constitute of different sections, different community, different classes, but we don't demand. We often demand to empower women. Why don't we demand to empower different class, different society, and different community? Why don't we demand to empower the entire nation? Why there is an issue to empower women? So today we will just try to discuss on it, and we will try to just analyze it in a proper way.
Okay, Bilal, why it is needed for the empower of the women? Why we are not saying that we should empower the man?
Uh, this is a very crucial question. I think that means we very well know that without the cooperation and coordination of each and every gender of that society comprised of, this society can never be developed. If we want to just grow our society, just become developed, so there should be equal participation, equality on grounds on the basis of gender, equality, no discrimination against any gender is required. So that's why we demand to empower a specific gender.
Okay, I went to the previous, I go to the, we can say that the starting of the when India got independence. As you all know that in the parliament there are 389 members, and out of them there are only 15 members are the ladies. So after that there are a lot of women reservation given in the parliament, but it didn't pass. Why? What is the reason behind it?
Basically, you are talking about 20th century.
Yes.
In the mid of 20th century, in 1947, we got independence. At that time, the circumstances were totally different. Because we had a fear among us that we need to build up the nation rapidly. So that time we decided that there should be less participation of women in politics. We can say
That
that.
means you are thinking about that women are incapable.
No. Where I am thinking that in the 19th century, in the 20th century, in the struggle of freedom, there were lots of women who played a very important role in. Without their contribution, we could not get independence. So I can give numerous of examples. Just like take an example of Rani Lakshmi Bai. She fought like a tigress with the English men. So after that, there were also some women like Sarojini Naidu. who was a stateswoman, we can say. So I never considered any woman inferior.
Then why you have stated the point that in the regime of the any country there should be a man dominated, because in the 389th member that 15th member only women. Don't you think that we should be 40% and the 30% participation in the parliament?
There should be 30-40% participation of women, but on the basis of election. If a woman is capable, able to be elected, then it is good. But if you want reservation for the woman in politics, then I don't support this, because this will lead to the impoverishment of our country. This will lead to the inefficiency of administration of our country. I think that.
Well, I suppose that if the girls' representative is not present in the parliament, then how can they raise their questions? Let me example. India is considered the one of the largest democracy all over the world. Okay, and if I talk about the women participate in the parliament, that is only 14%. If you are talking about our neighboring country, which is considered that like that Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, and Afghanistan, the participation of the women is far better than us. If I talk about the Pakistan, in Pakistan there are 20.6% participation of the women. If I talk about the Saudi Arabia, which is considered as the which is in Saudi Arabia, it is considered that the women are very feeble. After that, in Saudi Arabia, there are 91.9% participation of the women in the parliament. But in India, there were only 14%. Why?
There is a reason behind it, brother. The reason is that there are many reasons, we can say that. The reason is that patriarchal society, we can say that, male-dominated society, stereotype society, we can say that. Another thing is that I would like to tell you that uh, the most important reason behind the degradation of women, or the less status of women in our society is that I personally think that women doesn't support other women, because if one woman becomes successful in her life, she forgets who helped her in difficulties.
Indirectly, you are telling about that women jealous for the of the women.
Yes, women are jealous for other women.
But what is then? How can we overcome from these problems? How can our
Only.
suppose that we are thinking about that India should be a Vishwa Guru, and how is it possible? There is only by possible because both gender will be participate each other.
Only, brother, moral education can help us to overcome this problem. Another thing is that here we are discussing about women empowerment. So, women empowerment basically means to empower a woman,
Yes.
to empower the entire women community. So, without their keenness, without their we can say that without their cooperation, no government, no NGOs, no community, no any power can empower the woman.
Brother, as per my concern in that women has a lot of ability and capacity,
No.
but they have to suppress by the man. That is why. Suppose that in if I talk about in the villages area and the urban area, the girls hesitate from the talk the boy what the people are thinking over that. Even that they are going to talk the generally communication. After that they become the hesitates. Don't you think that it is a stereotype mentality of the people, it is a stereotype mentality of the society who always suppress the women?
Suppression. You are talking about that in the 21st century, women are being suppressed, persecuted, and oppressed, according to you. So, do you think that there is persecution in our country?
Yes, I don't think so.
No, there is no persecution, brother. That is called depression. Depressed. Because I think that there is lack of education in rural areas, just because of these all cruel rights have been existing there.
And there is only one issue that it is the it is in our mentality that the girls are born for the home chorus.
Household purpose they have
Yes.
born. No, it is not the truth, brother. If you talk about 19th century, then it was suitable for that. If you talk about 20th century, it was suitable for that. But into the 21st century, people don't have mindset like this. So my question to you that, Mr. Manohar, how can we uplift the women community?
We can uplift women community. Firstly, we should go with the promoting the primary educations, because the education, moral education, I think the education is only key of anything that can uplift. If you go through the moral education of the women, they can uplift. We should give the equal participation of everywhere. We should not discriminate the women on the basic of the gender. So I think that by which we can balance the whole the society, we can balance the whole the community of the women and the men.
I would like to represent some facts before you. I want just your view perspective on this fact. The facts are, in every 5 minutes a girl is raped in our country. Around 70% of the females are compelled to live behind four walls. Another thing is that the crime against women are increasing rapidly. Some crimes are being reported, some are never reported. So another thing is that you talk about the participation of women in society, politics, and economy. So I would like to present a data that says a statistics that says 80% of the women after getting education love to love to marry and live under four walls. So how would their participation will increase if the educated women would think like that? Another thing is that we there are some NGOs who always raised slogans like males are responsible for backwardness in women. Do you really think we males are responsible for backwardness in women?
Yeah, basically, brother, this is in this point I have the two perspectives. That you are talking about the 80% women are locked for the confined in the four walls. First one, your point is that, and second question, you are that do you think that really males are responsible? So my answer is that somehow males are responsible, somehow society are responsible. Suppose that I am the brother of any sister, and I compare my sister to marry after the graduation, then how can they uplift themselves? How can she uplift themselves? She herself. It is never ever possible. India is considered the male-dominated country. After the if I talk about in the rural areas, after the matriculation, there are 20% girls become the married. After the 12th, there are 40% girls become getting married. And after the graduation, I think the 90% girls become the married. We are not giving the chance of the girls. We are not giving the chance of the women. That if the boys are doing any wrong things, then we can the society will we can say tolerate them, tolerate. But if the girls, then it is said that you are the stigma of the dignity of your fathers. So somehow we are also responsible, the society are also responsible. If suppose that if any girls have been raped, then say that उसका इज्जत नहीं बच गया. तो what is the इज्जत means? We are talking about the इज्जत means the we are the इज्जत not only if the girls have been raped, if the boy has harassed the girls, it is not that the उस लड़की का इज्जत चला गया. We are thinking about the different manners. Even in our country, if the girls have been raped, then no one boy is going to get married with that girls. This is the problem of the
I
society.
really laugh of this kind of mindset because I really think that nobody become unsacred, or we can say that anything. Another thing is that you said one thing. I would like to just ask you from. Do you really think marriage is a barrier in the development of a woman?
Yes, I think that.
Why?
Why marriage is a barrier? Suppose that if what is the mentality of the Lord's family? The girls don't know. What is the mentality of the Lord's family? The girls' family don't know. Suppose that the girls who want to uplift themselves after the marriage, when her Lord's family didn't give the approval to them, then how can the girls uplift themselves?
Suppose that Manohar, if you get married
Okay.
and your wife asks you for education,
Brother,
will you educate your wife or not?
I will educate.
Then why are you saying that marriage is a barrier in the development of
You are talking about the
woman?
particular one and two persons. Go and survey the data. Even that Bilal, I saw. I think that in my village, they are very. We can say that they are. We can say that there are a lot of landlords who had a lot of money, who had a lot of education in their family. Even after they didn't give the chance, they are the. We can say that daughter-in-law to we can go outside or from the home. This is the problem of the our country. This is the problem of the rural area.
Brother, our country is very great. We treat women as goddess. We
Yes,
treat women
no
as
doubt.
modest.
Brother, I give you some factual data. According to the IMF, if the population of the women, we all know that the population of the women are somehow about the half of the men.
No, no, no. Now the population has been increased and women are more than in men.
Okay, let me consider 50-50%. Okay, according to IMF data.
No 50%.
Okay, let me
Women
consider.
have won the race of population, brother.
Okay, 55% and 45%. Okay.
No, no. 55 and 45. Okay, it's okay.
Okay.
The actual data is 1044 women per 1000 men.
Okay.
Okay.
According to the IMF data, if the participation of the women in the workforce, then the India growth rate can be increased by 27%. That is the one data. According to the World Bank, which is presented the business law, India got the 170 rank out of the 190. Where is the women lies in the globally? If I talk about we are talking about the Kalpana Chawla. We are talking about that Indira Gandhi. We are talking about the many Jhansi Ki Rani. Brother, only the exception. We cannot judge all the parameters. We cannot all the women by one parameter. That the capability and the capacity of the Sarojini Naidu is different. The capacity of the Indira Gandhi was different. The capacity of the Jhansi Ki Rani was different. The capacities our sisters and your sister is different. So we should not judge all the. We can say that all the women by one parameter.
It is true. We cannot judge the entire community on one parameter. Another thing is that, brother, you are talking about to develop leadership among women. I think that in our country, the biggest concern is to educate women. I think that. Another thing is that how can we just equally, how can we promote them to participate equally? These are the biggest concern of our country. The main reason I think that there, if we want increase in participation of women, we first educate a woman. After that, we provide platform, and then we see that the participation of women will automatically increase. So there is no matter, and different government, different state government have been running so many schemes for the development of women, for the welfare of women. So we cannot say that our country just confined women just compels women to live under four walls. Our society is male-dominated society. We cannot say our there is less opportunity for women in our country in comparison to men. We cannot say this because in this era, I think that every gender gets equal opportunity.
Brother, somehow I become very nervous to see the condition of the country. See, After the independence of I think 72 or 73 years.
It's almost 75 years.
70, almost 70, because 74, 75 years.
Yes.
Amrit Mahotsav has been held.
Yes, very soon Amrit Mahotsav will be held.
So don't you think that it is a vast decade, it is a vast year, 75 years. We are giving the education of the women. We are the, if I talk about in the Bihar government, they are giving the Kanya Utthana Yojana, they are giving the cycle
different schemes.
They are different schemes. Even after that, we can say that the participation of the women is not equal. Even the not in the, we can say that 10%. If I talk about in our state Bihar, so how can we think about the future that the women can uplift so fastly?
Brother, Rome was not built in a day. Change comes but take times. So in this way we can say that if we see the status of women in early 2000 and 2011, if we compare both years, we will find that census occurs in 10 years. You very well know that. We will find that the status of women remarkably increased. Through this way, we can say that in upcoming days, in upcoming years, we will see women equal participation. So another thing is that we can take examples of lots of field where women are rocking. We can say that whether it is entrepreneurship, whether it is to play the role of nation building, whether it is to develop community through NGOs, women are just rocking in everywhere. Whether it is government sectors, women are rocking everywhere, brother. So we cannot say that our society is male-dominated society. It was, but it is not.
Okay, Bilal, my question is that what are the challenges of the women? They cannot give, they can barrier the, we can say they are the obstacle for the women to the upliftment. What are the challenges?
Basically, the challenge in women life is more in comparison to male life. I personally think that because race starts from the womb of a mother. Okay, and we very well know that there is cruelty against women in our society because our society think our society. I publicly say this. Our society think that if a man born or male born, then there is a high chance of success in life and there is a less risk, less burden on the family. So just because of that, I think female infanticide is still in practice in our country. Another thing is that the race started from the womb of a mother, and the race goes until marriage. This is called initial stage of race or challenges. We can say that once a girl get married, then different challenges in her life starts. Means that challenges of in-laws family, challenges of that is created by her husband. So in this perspective, in this way, we can say that women faces many challenges. Another challenge is that women are more likely to become victim of crime.
Okay, Bilal, what do you want to say about the sexual abuse of women in workplace?
That is a very biggest concern. I think that is a very we can say that cruel lie against women. I can say that, and that is also a crime, big crime. We can say that. So another thing is that you are talking about sexual abuse in workplace. Generally, it occurs among educated women. We very well know that. But in I read a data somewhere. I don't know. That is statistics just demonstrated around only 50% women report this kind of incident. If educated women could not report, then how can we think that uneducated, illiterate, or poor women can report this kind of incident? So
So what is the solution of this problem?
laws, only strict law can help. I think that sexual abuse in workplace can be only vanished by the help of strict law.
And my next point is that somehow the traditional, that is the rituals, somehow it is also barrier of the women. So what do you pointed about this study?
Tradition, customs and traditions are barrier in women.
As
Brother,
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 sorry for that. As you are belonging from the Islam community, and there are a lot of girls who come in our institute, and they said that my family didn't give the approval for the behind the cameras. So what do you think that in the 21st century it should be happen?
I think that liberty depends upon person. If liberty, you are basically this point means that they have less liberty. I think that, and another thing is that not to come behind camera can be a wish of a person, a will of a person. So we cannot compel anybody to go against her desire. So I think that, and another thing is that you say that there is a pressure of family not to go in front of camera. So I think that her family should think about it, and going behind or in front of camera is not a big deal nowadays. And this should not be done.
Brother, in the small place, you cannot go beside the camera. Then what is the guarantee that on the very vast crowd over there, you can uplift yourself on the? We can say if you give the chance to address the people, how could we address?
That is a very big concern. Another thing is that basically every person wants to become success in his or her life. Like that, women also want to become success. So there are women who just cross the limits and they just create history. I think that when women will understand this, they will definitely
I
create
think this
history.
is a great example of Malala Yousafzai. We can take the example from that.
Yes, yes, she is
And
really an inspiration.
of Bilal, I would like to ask. This is a, you can say this is a very funny question, and if you think that this is also very, we can say that crucial the question that it is our fundamental right that if you work 7 days, we have to live one day.
6 days,
And we have to work 6 days and live one day.
one day.
Why you are not giving to the women? They work in the for the housewife in the 365 days, and we are not giving the leave of that one day even in 1 week.
My family gives brother.
No, no,
My
I'm,
there is
I'm not talking about your family. I'm
yeah,
talking about
yeah, you are
the
talking about whole society,
Yes.
right? But I think that 50% of the person of the society gives independence and gives rest to the woman for one day, leave for women. Another thing is that their life is not easy, brother. There are ups and downs. There are difficulties in life. These all hard work is a part of life, and every gender should accept. I am a I belong to male community. You very well know. I work 365 days in a year, so it is good to work 365 days. There is nothing bad in it.
Okay, brother. Lastly, what do you want to give the suggestion? What do you give the advice, and what is your lastly concern over the?
Brother, women empowerment. Women empowerment. People always talk about that. What is that? Very few people know about that. That is the very big part of. There is a very big concern in our country. That is all. That is also a factor leading to the less development in our country. So, women empowerment can play a vital role in the development of our country. I personally think that. Not just because of equal participation, we can say that our country will be developed. I think that upliftment of women will just sort out many problems of our society. Uh, we can say, in other words, that women there is a proverb we can say, and it is also an idiom that if you educate a woman, you educate the whole society. But if you educate a man, you will only educate a man. So I truly accept this proverb, and I think we should work on it.
Or if you become the, suppose that advisor of the PM Modi. Suppose that it is a very religious question that I want to ask. So which type of scheme do you want to suggest for the upliftment of the women?
That is very good question, Anjali. First of all, we know that our constitution orders the the directive principles to educate every child before 7 years free.
6 years.
6 years,
6 years.
0 to 6 years. Okay, 6 years free. So I will just extend this to 21 years for the women.
Already in the fundamental right, in the Article 21A, it has been mentioned that it is the duty of the government that we should educate the 16 to 14 years of the children. I think it has been already written in our constitution.
But I will make women, I will just recommend, I will just suggest to educate a woman until 21 free.
That means you are only promoting the women.
Free education, I am just promoting free education for women.
And
Next step, I will just suggest that is right to marry.
right to marry.
Right to choose a partner. If a woman has a desire to choose a partner, she can choose.
Not you think that well, is somehow it become very bad for the society.
How can
Because somehow the girls are also responsible just you initially told about. If the right to marry, the bill has been passed from the parliament, then there are a lot of misuse over that.
boys also misuse this kind of rights. Rights means that gender has the liberty. So if we on the ground level we often see that male community enjoys more rights than female community. So I think that their liberty should not be curtailed. Their liberty should be equal. That's why I said that right to education, right to opportunity, right to choose a job according to her wish or desire, right to marry, right to right to great position in the family. We can say that this kind of right should be there.
But what about those right who are the women are demanding that we want 50% reservation from each and every sector? Do you think that women under the women empowerment we should give 50% reservation?
Yes, sir. I think that.
Why?
Why it should be? Because we all know that India is considered that it should be a Vishwaguru, and it is only possible that the 50% participation of the women will occur. Nowadays, our country will run from the parliament and by the executive and the legislative and the judiciary, whatever. And in the parliament, there were only 40% of the seats of the women nowadays. If we uplift by that 50%, they can represent all the women of the society. So I think that for the balancing of the nation, we should give the reservation. Just we are giving the reservation for the SC and STs. I think we should give the reservation 50% of the each and every sector. I think basically I think that.
Bilal, what is your opinion?
Sir, I am neither a supporter of reservation nor I deny reservation, sir. Another thing is that reservation is required for the upliftment of class who is depressed, persecuted and oppressed. If you think that women are being depressed, persecuted and oppressed, then it is good. But if there would be a survey conducted, then we will find that nowadays no kind of discrimination. There is discrimination, but on less scale we can say that. It is not on a mass scale. So we should not give reservation, 50% reservation to the women, because it will create anger among male, as well as it will from you, as our society is male dominated society. In if this will occur, what will happen? People will consider our society as female dominated society. I don't want male dominated society as well as female dominated
That is why I
society.
said
I
that.
want India's dominated society, sir, because we all are Indian, no matter which gender you belong to. Just live like an Indian.
Sir, I go through the past somehow. Then how women are suppressed by the women. We are the by the history we can grab the knowledge the sati pratha,
Sati practice.
sati practice, and there are a lot of
Polygamy was there.
polygamy over there. So the somehow our ancestor had suppressed a lot of the our we can
No. Our ancestor has not.
yes brother.
There were some wrongdoers. There were some wrongdoers. We cannot say that entire our.
No, I'm not talking about
I am
entire.
not agree with you.
I'm not talking about the entire.
Our ancestor did not suppress.
So somehow the Britishers comes and they are giving the power to the women somehow.
Sir,
I think that.
In the 19th century, our society was not progressed. We had a prejudiced society, sir. We had social obscurantism, means that we were against development, any kind of development. So we were also less educated at that time. So that's why this kind of cruel rights existed at that time. Just because these kinds of cruel rights, we cannot say that our ancestors were bad wrongdoers.
No.
I never agreed that. How can we say that?
I'm not talking about all.
Our ancestors were also Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Our ancestors were also Gandhiji.
One question is also coming in our mind. Our constitution says that equality, equality, equality. But where is equality? Women are not getting equal rights as compared to men. They are bound to live in their houses. They have lots of restriction. In that case, if we talk about practicality, then where is in practicality? Where is this constitution? Why not we are just giving full freedom to their daughters so that they can also do something in their life? What is your opinion about that?
Sir, basically, I want to say that if I have a problems of anything, then we should go first. We should take the first step. We'll take them by maneuver. But if the girls are not doing that, in our constitution, there are a lot of rights regarding for the women. They are suppressed by the society, but they have never ever raised the question. Have you listened any? We can say that anything about the women. They raise the question about the parliament. They raise the question of the MPs and MLAs. Never ever. Somehow they are feared. What the people will think.
What should be done to come out from this fearness?
Sir, we should encourage the girls, I think.
So if Manohar is saying that if a girl speaks more, then the society says that she's a balance. We can say that she is a blunt.
Yes.
Okay. If a girl speaks less, the society says that she is abnormal. Am I true? Don't take it in other sense. And if a girl lives under four wall, people say that she is compelled to live. Nobody think that it might be her desire. If a girl wants to study wants to live outside her home, again people say that she is so fast. Then problem is not with the woman. The problem is with the society. That's why women are still hesitate to speak in front of people. So to overcome this problem, I think that only education can play a vital role. The more the education among women, the less the fear among women. Definitely.
So my question again is coming that the government is also giving lots of facilities, like the government is giving a scholarship to them so that they can be educated. You have told about the time was when the people were not educated and the girls were or women were suppressed and they were bound to live in their houses only. Now the girls are coming from houses. They are also getting all type of facilities. But still, how can we change the mentality of the parents, where the girls are not given actual equal right as compared to boys? Another thing is that they are just thinking that they are just a responsibility, they are just a burden of this family. Somehow after getting matriculation, they should be married with someone, so that their responsibility will decrease and they will have to think about other things. What about the mentality of parents? How can we change?
Somehow the mentality of the parent is right somehow. Why I say that? Because if the if any, suppose that after the in the future I become the father of any daughter, then somehow we fear from the society, we fear from the bad mechanism of the society. The what is the condition of the society? In everywhere the girl has been raped. I think this type of mentality, this of the news can fear them of the parents. That is why they compare their daughter. I think.
But it is not the solution that if we have listened one thing, one incident or one any accident, and due to this reason and due to that incident, we are not going to give rights
But
to their
it gives the
children.
insecurity. It gives the
Brother,
insecurity.
your state.
But what if you are talking about insecurity? Then why not girls should be mentally prepared from their childhood, that they will have to be free from each and everything. They should be given such type of training so that they can just protect themselves.
Sir, I want to give some suggestion to the, if government, if I become like the some post, then we should teach the girls student what is the bad touch and good touch from the very primary manner. Our school didn't give this type of education. So I think the good touch and the bad touch we should manage in our syllabus. They can know that what is the value. Sir, what is the incident? Somehow the girls below the 14 years and the 12 years, they also have been raped. So what know about these girls? Because these girls don't know about that what is the good touch and the bad touch. So I think this type of things we have to add in the syllabus also.
Sir, I think that the crime against women is a part of big concern. Another thing is that women are not responsible for the crime. Why should we confine women for the crimes which is being done by men? Why should we curb the freedom and liberty of women if other women are become victim of crime? So we should not curtail the freedom of women just because of two or three incidents. And another thing is that Mr. Manohar said that if we give simply say sex education to a woman, then it will help her in very means, we can say that.
Even Sivani Jha, who is just watching our video, and she is just telling sir, somehow family is more responsible for girls than society. What is your opinion about that?
No, no.
Shivani Jha is giving her statement. Shivani, please listen if you are watching. Yes, Bilal, what do you want to say?
Family. I think that there is no family in the world who doesn't love her daughter.
But
Her
girls are feeling when the girls are watching, when the girls are Bilal watching that her brother is receiving all types of facilities. But as compared to that, she is not getting responsibility. There is a discrimination between boys and girls. So that's why, like Sivanis have, most of the girls are thinking that somehow family is responsible more than society, because family is not giving equal rights and they are discriminating between children. Then how can I think about society and India?
I think that our family is our well-wishers, sir. They have concern about us. So if they impose some restriction on you, that is for our welfare. And another thing is that there are some families, I accept that, who often compels their girl or daughter to not do something. to not go outside.
Sir, I
But
think that not some family.
Oh, lots of families are
60 to
there.
70% family are doing
I
that.
also agree with you that there are 60 or 70% families are there. Their mentality is like that, and they are discriminating between boys and girls.
discrimination on the basis of gender is totally unacceptable. But sir, we cannot deny the fact that girls are more unsafe than boys. So there is a mindset in the in the brain of human beings, or we can say that. So that kinds of restriction still exist.
Sir,
And sir,
we need like a lady of the Jhansi Ki Rani. We need like a lady of the Indira Gandhi. After that, we can again. It is the country that we should take the inspiration from our ancestor, like the Indira Gandhi, Jhansi Ki Rani, Sarojini Naidu over there.
sir, if women never break promise of
Even
their
even Tanishq Sri is telling that sure, women are already empowered. Every time they have to prove it, they have to prove it. We need to empower men because it demands of today. Even in this discussion, there is no girls to raise the issue regard this.
yes, Miss Tanis, your statement is really true. I totally agree with it because think about also about us. You are the only woman and you are the first woman who just raised the real issue. I am very thankful to you. I personally believe that women are really empowered and nowadays they are heading towards becoming supreme. So just think about also about us. I and Manohar.
Okay, so those who are just watching, if they have any kind of question, then please ask me because now we are going to end this session. So if anyone has any question, then please ask him. And if they are we are just waiting for their asking questions. But I would like to say that is there any strict solution so that they can just come out from all types of problem? This is my question to both of you.
Sir, sudden we cannot change.
Because we have seen that there are lots of plans and policies for the upliftment of girls, but still it is not working properly, and there is no any strict rules and regulation. What should be done, and what should be the strict rules and regulation so that they can perform their well and they can just do something whatever they want?
Sir, whatever the plans and scheme over running for the upliftment of the women, it is all right. The administration should execute them. They are not executing the plans. That is why suppose that it is the bill and over act is that the girls below the 18 years who become the married, they have to we have to give the prison of their family. But in the practicality, it never happened. So somehow the plans and the schemes are good. The government and the administration should execute the plans by which we can. I think that our country should will uplift the women.
Sir, only by increasing age of marriage or age of consent, we cannot uplift women community. I think that we should more focus on their moral, social, and economic. Because sir, if they should be given proper moral education, it will help them in various manners. Another thing is that if they should be socially educated, they should create a society of no fear against in respect of women. They should create such kind of society where a woman would not be compelled to live under four walls. They should create a society where male and women is equally treated. So this only can a woman done, and and this could be only done with the cooperation of the entire women
Khushbu
community.
Parveen is want to ask one question to you, both of you, that what should be done for the women's safety? Because most of the questions are coming from girls' side because they are feeling unsecure in their society. So what should be done for the women's safety? What is your opinion about that? Khushbu Parveen is asking question to both of you.
Sir, in this, I have two perspectives. Firstly, a girl should take the responsibility of their self. And second question is that the our judiciary are also responsible. I think more than lakhs of the case has been
Petty.
pending for the regarding of the girls rape, molesting and whatever.
Kind
That
of.
is why the girls are not go to the, we can say that near Thana over there for the FIR done. Somehow it is the judiciary system should be uplifted and girls should be take the responsibility. And I think that there is a strict solution over there. We should give the girls to the, we can say that in the initially by karate and the whatever the
Self defense.
self defense by which
Tactics.
we can curb this type of problems.
Okay, Hafsa Hayat is asking one question to both of you. And because Hafsa Hayat is facing this type of problem, how can we convince our family not to compare and discriminate among boys and between boys and girls?
So it only possible, the Hafsa is only the girls, they can convince the family. I am and Bilal cannot go to their house and they can convince their family. The girls should take the responsibility. If the girls are facing the problems, the girls should raise their question. If suppose that I am the member of my family, if I say to anything to my family, and I am very loyal to my family, then my family always listen to me. If the Hafsa is very, if the any girls is very loyal to their family, then obviously the parents will listen to that girl.
But parents are not thinking now that they are the royal of the family.
But